Hello, I'm the Russian, and today we're going to be going over my experience and my kind of review of Humankind, the game. Bad Doug sadly couldn't be with us, but we're going to get him next time. So I have now spent approximately 6 or 7 hours in total playing this game, so it's very early start review. I have completed my first full gameplay of it. So my first full game I have completed on the normal difficulty. Uh, let's talk first about kind of how I heard about this game. So I'm a big fan of Potato McWhiskey, who makes a lot of Civilization games, and he showed me this game in general. So I was watching some of his videos, and suddenly came up his new video where he was getting the beta version of this. Uh, he touted it to be a kind of a Civ, but more built out. So it's a lot more strategy involved, a lot more thought. And other reviews that I have read about it prior to the game, well, not really reviews, kind of analyses before the game released from the beta and the alpha, said pretty much the same thing, that this was Civilization as a master's degree, pretty much. So you're getting your master's in that. With that in mind, I was very excited to play it, and I got my first hands on it through the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which I was very happy they were able to secure it, so I was able to play it for free. Um, yeah, I was able to play it for free, but then I felt bad, so I went on Steam and bought it full price. I liked it. Overall, the game I think is beautifully, beautifully made. Uh, it's very interesting. So you have a bit of a different dynamic than you would have normally in Civ. Yes, you have districts. Yes, you have military units which can then combine together into armies. But it's a bit of a different approach. So when we're talking about the military, for instance, your military is built off of the population that you have in your cities and outposts. And if you combine an outpost together with a city, that only helps your population. So with that in mind, as your city grows in size, you're going to reach a certain threshold where you're limited. Your city can't grow anymore, or you've overgrown in terms of population, which will affect your stability. So then you can start pumping out some military units at that time if you want, or build out other industries. So that kind of restricts you in terms of building out a massive army too early. The second thing that is interesting about the military is that the way that you're playing it is more like Total War, for instance, where you're given a small battlefield, you control the individual units themselves, and you try to outsmart the enemy, except it's turn-based in this case, like you would have in a normal Civ game. Nonetheless, very, very interesting way that they created that. And if you don't really want to battle it out, just like with the Total War, you can just move through it. You can just skip and get an auto resolution based off of who has the higher power. And sometimes if you're very close or even, you could end up with a draw where both sides lose the military unit, or you could just entirely lose, and that will sometimes happen. You'll feel defeated, but not too much because you know you can get back another military unit. So the next thing I would like to talk about is the religion and culture. Culture and religion are two important facets of the game. With religion, you're building out the religion, you're kind of growing it in terms of territory like you would have with Civ. However, you don't really have the end goal like with Civ with religion, where you want to try to convert the high percentage of cities of a civilization, of all civilizations in that game, to your chosen religion to get that victory score. Uh, with culture, it's pretty much the same exact thing. You don't have that kind of a style where you're trying to achieve a full cultural conversion to get the winning of the game. In the end, they just provide you bonuses, and they assist you along the way in terms of providing, let's say, more stability, more food, more production, more science, things like that. And even buffing your military are some of the tenets that you can get from religion or for civics themselves. I'm a little confused on the civics aspect specifically, in terms of leaning one way or another. I got to dive into that a little bit more, learn a little bit more about it, and I might be able to start employing it much better. With the culture, you're also a little bit stagnated on the front that you can't grow until you've reached a certain level of culture, and you can't gain wonders until you've acquired a certain amount of culture. Now, all these different things, they also build up into fame, which is in the end what helps you win error scores, and what overall allows you to win the entire game in itself. Uh, and that's where it kind of brings me to the only negative that I see in the game so far from the how many hours that I've played it, and that's the fact that it seems to be very short. In a matter of 6 hours, I was able to finish a full Humankind game, whereas with Civ, it might take me days to complete an entire game. Well, if I'm staying up the full day, I might be able to complete it in maybe 12 or 16 hours. So with it being so short, my concern right now is the amount of content in there. You have a ton of civilizations you can play as and try to beat in total, but just to give you an example, Civilization has 221 plus 71. It's got almost 300 achievements, while Humankind has only 86. Well, 90 in total. So you have pretty much a third of the amount of content. Now I know that you also don't have all the DLCs that you would have with Civilization 6, for instance, in Humankind, so that is going to be built out. But it does seem to be very short and kind of quick. I'm going to play around with the different speeds that they have there because the normal speed is only about, I think they said it was about 300 when I was playing the last game. Uh, but they can increase the duration of the game as well. Uh, Interesting game. So first day, I am happy with it. I'm going to keep playing. I'll be learning more, discovering more things about the game over time, just like I would with Civ. But yeah, I'm curious to see how they take it, where they go, what they add in. They're most likely going to add another era towards the end of that. I'm curious how the space age works, which I didn't really get to, and kind of building out those things to land on Mars. In the air combat, I haven't played with that at all yet. Yeah, so if you're somebody who's thinking about getting it but on the edge, if you're a Civ fan, if you're a Total War fan, even if you're a Europa fan, I would say definitely 100% get it. I think it's very much worth the money, even if you're just getting the base game for, I believe it was $50 on Steam, or the expanded edition, which has extra NPCs, I guess, and extra bonuses for you. It does also $60, I think that was, and that's the one that I bought. Um, Definitely get it. I think it's worth it. And if you have Game Pass, you want to try it out, jump in. Jump in head first, learn about the mechanics. Uh, you'll discover them along the way as well, so it will become a little bit easier. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much the whole summary of the review. So if I was to give it a score, I would give it a score of 8.5 out of 10, with the potential for growth as well, as not only I experience the game more, but also as more content comes out for it. Thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day.